More U.S. troops to help train Iraqis fighting ISIS. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says part of the president's thinking is right.
How do you destroy and degrade ISIL? That's the right goal. The president has the right goal, but the strategy is not going to work. We're not going to destroy these guys from the air.
And Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff places much of the blame for Iraq's problems on its leadership.
The Maliki government really hollowed out the military force that we had trained up and equipped.
Texas policeman Eric Casebolt, caught on video drawing his gun and throwing a girl to the ground, has resigned and apologized.
He did so with a heavy heart, knowing that his resignation was not only in his best interest, but also that of his fellow police officers and the city of McKinney, Texas.
That's Casebolt's attorney, Jane Bishkin. The stock market did well today. The Dow is up 262 points. I'm Evan Haining.
We are the Breakfast Defectors. We are reaching out to anyone trapped in their AM routine. We'll be at Taco Bell every morning starting at 7 a.m. You don't have to eat the same circle sandwiches over and over. Same is lame. You have options, delicious ones, like the Biscuit Taco, AM Crunch Wrap, Grande Scrambler, Mountain Dew Kickstart, Cinnabon Delights, or Hot and Iced Coffee. Stop clowning around. Join us. Defect to the next generation of breakfast at Taco Bell. Wake up, live Moss at participating locations.
The results are in. For the treatment of nasal allergy symptoms, nothing is more effective than Nasacort. Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour is prescription-strength medicine that's scent and alcohol-free with no harsh taste. It's non-addictive and provides 24-hour relief of the worst nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion, with no prescription needed. And in a recent clinical study with Nasacort going nose-to-nose with Flonase, more people prefer Nasacort. For more information, visit nasacort.com. Nasacort. Use as directed.
A penny for your thoughts? Sorry, ideas are priceless. AM 1050 KCAA.
Well, good afternoon. It is 12:02. I'm Di Rice with the latest in live local news here on KCAA 1050 AM. Riverside County Sheriff's officials are defending the level of force used while arresting a man in Lake Elsinore. A video of the Saturday, June 6th arrest, filmed by one of the occupants of a vehicle stopped by a sheriff's deputy, has been circulating on social media. The video depicts the deputy pulling over 50-year-old Guadalupe William Gomez to the ground and eventually putting him in a headlock after Gomez repeatedly refused verbal commands to put his hands behind his back. The deputy pulled over the vehicle after its occupants waved and attempted to get his attention. The deputy discovered empty alcohol containers in the vehicle and he smelled marijuana. It was later determined that Gomez was not under the influence of alcohol nor drugs when the incident occurred, but he was given a citation for having open containers in his vehicle. And Moreno Valley's Planning Commission meets tomorrow. It will be the first hearing on the project application of Highland Fairview. They have proposed a building of a 40.6 million square foot warehouse complex that will transform the city's east side. Earlier this month, an environmental impact report analyzing the project's impact was released. The company has said that the project would provide much needed jobs and be an economic boom to the city. But critics question the job projections and say that the mega warehouse would clog area streets and freeways with traffic and worsen the air quality in the area. The project is equal to the size of more than 700 football fields. In related news, 3 Moreno Valley council members were served with recall notices Tuesday, just 2 days ago, or just yesterday actually, in what appears to be a proxy battle between supporters and opponents of the proposed mega warehouse project dubbed the World Logistics Center. Inland Empire weather, sunny and nice today, highs near 83, overnight lows 68 degrees. Currently, we are at 78 here in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive, stop and go on the 91 eastbound between 6th Street and the 15 freeway. The northbound side of the 15 is busy between Magnolia and the 91. Through Corona, stop and go on the 15 between Hidden Valley Parkway and Limonite. That is on the northbound side. And in the Cajon Pass, an accident has cleared, so that is good news, but you still have to contend with that backup between from Oak Hill Road on up to Highway 38. All right, let's see. This just in Devore, an accident is blocking the right lane on the 215 southbound just after Devore Road. So now you got a little bit more of congestion in that area. So be patient. Listen to the radio here at KCAA 1050 AM. Dave Ramsey's up next. This report has been brought to you by the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Are you doing everything you can to save water? Visit waterwise.com to learn more about saving water tips and the rebates from the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California.
If you like jazz, you'll enjoy getting together with me. I'm Tommy Hawkins, a Jazz Hawk. Tune into my show, Just Jazz, Saturday nights from 10 to midnight on KCAA 1050 AM.
Hey everybody, this is Polka Tom inviting you to join me for Inland Empire Polkas every Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on KCAA Radio, 1050 a.m. on your dial and online at www.kcaaradio.com. I'll play all the best in polka music for you, so join me every Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good, and you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. The phone number here, if you want to talk about your life and your money, is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Jesse starts off this hour in Anchorage, Alaska. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I was talking about my auto loan I have. I'm about $10,000 upside down.
Good Lord. How?
Well, it was a snowball from the last.
You rolled the negative equity from the last car into this one.
And the one before that, yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
So I called the bank, and they offered me a personal credit loan of 14% interest.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like $20,000 in some other credit card and medical bill debt.
Mm-hmm.
And
how much do you owe on the car?
$32.
Okay. And it's worth $22?
Yep.
Okay. And the bank, you currently have this loan with that bank?
Yes.
And your interest rate on it now is what?
3.75.
Okay. All right. What do you make a year? Household income?
70.
Okay. Yeah, this car is insanity. Yeah. Well, the good news is you could pay off the $10,000 and the $20,000 fairly quickly. So 14%, while it's ridiculous, is not going to kill you. But I would go into and sit down with the branch manager in person and explain it like this: Mr. Branch Manager, you have a $22,000 car loan and a $10,000 personal loan now. And we know that because the car is only worth $22,000 and I owe $32,000 on it. But $10,000 of what I owe you is unsecured, because there's not enough car here to cover it. And so 14% from 3.75 to be able to get rid of a car that I can't afford and that you're in a mess on as far as your collateral goes is, it's not a good deal. So we need to meet in the middle. You need to give me a better interest rate on this because it's a loan you've already made, and $10,000 of it currently is unsecured. So let me have that $10,000 at 7 or 8%, and let me get this car sold. And that way you can, in other words, you're getting him to let you sign a note for whatever the car does not bring, and at a lesser than 14% interest rate. Don't tell him this, but at the end of the day, dude, I would do it anyway. You've got a car here that's just absurd, and if you can get rid of $22,000 worth of your $52,000 worth of debt, You can get rid of almost half your debt with this one move. You do it. You definitely do it. And I would, and yeah, 14% is not a good deal, but the good news is you're going to roll up your sleeves, live on beans and rice, rice and beans, and get this whole thing paid off in 18 to 24 months anyway. So in that case, the 14% is not going to kill you. My guess is some of your credit cards are higher than that anyway. Judy is with us in Chicago. Hi, Judy. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. What's up?
I have a question on a self-directed real estate IRA and what your opinion is and whether or not you think that is a good choice for part of our retirement.
It's only as good a choice as you are good at real estate.
Okay.
How much real estate have you done?
Not a lot. This would be our first venture.
Okay.
And I'm kind of, I don't know if I want to be in the landlord business.
Yeah, and let me tell you, once you're in the landlord business in the IRA world, you're in it.
Okay.
You know,
so it's not one of those that's easy to get rid of?
No, you're stuck. You've got the money in a self-directed. You'd have to sell the property into the self-directed, redirect the money later. It's a total pain in the butt. So I would suggest you buy some rental property separate and apart from this before you start moving portions of your retirement into, and make sure that this is something you want to do, and that you have the temperament to run property.
Okay.
Because you have to have this strange strength between being kind but being very firm. You don't have to be a mean jerk landlord, but you have to be firm. You can't be a pushover, and you can't, I don't want you on either side of the spectrum. I don't want you to be a jerk, and I don't want you to be a pushover. You've got to find that medium where you're kind, but you're strong. And you just say no, and if you don't pay the bill, you have to leave. And if you don't leave, I'm going to get the sheriff to set you out with a court order. And, no, we don't change light bulbs. You're the tenant. You change the light bulbs. Yes, we do fix things when legitimate things are broken, and so on. And so you just have to determine that part of it. But once you buy a piece of real estate inside of a self-directed IRA, all of the income associated with that real estate and all the expenses associated with that real estate have to stay within that IRA. You cannot take any of the money out. You can actually do flips inside of an IRA, but it's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And so a lot of these get-rich-quick weekend real estate seminars suggest people roll their money in to do real estate deals into a self-directed, but it's a good way to lose everything. It really is. But I do have a good friend years and years and years ago that retired with a little over $1 million in his 401k. He rolled a bunch of that into a self-directed, and at that point he already owned about 20 properties, and he used that money to buy more property, and he made a lot more on his money than he would have had he invested it in mutual funds. But it's trapped inside that IRA, and just like your investing dollars are. I mean, if you buy a mutual fund, you don't get to take that money out either. You inside your IRA. It has all your income and proceeds have to stay within there. And that's a weird way of doing things with operations of rental property. It's hard to do, to keep it that clean and not violate any of the laws on it. So I would not suggest you start your real estate career there. If you've got a proven track record in real estate and you want to move a percentage of your IRAs into real estate, then I'd be okay with that with self-directed, but only if you've got a proven track record. That's a really good question, by the way. Thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Victoria says on Twitter, I have a few $100s in savings bonds, but I can't find them. Can they be replaced? Yes. If you'll just do a Google search on the savings bond website, I can't remember what it's called, something .gov, and obviously, and you can put in there a name and do a search on that, or a search on. There's 2 or 3 different ways to do it, but I can't. It's been a while since I've done it. But yes, you can get them replaced, and then when you get them replaced, cash them out. This is why one of the reasons I tell people not to do savings bonds. They lose them, they forget they have them, all these kinds of things. It doesn't work. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Desperate? Nothing to do? Just like Some abuse?
Oh, God!
Well, then tune into The Poor Man weekdays at 2 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
This is KCAA.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. You've heard the old saying, measure twice, cut once. When it comes to do-it-yourself projects, there couldn't be a better motto. Here are some tips for sizing up jobs around the house. Don't use a 25-foot tape for measuring for a 6-inch cut. Better to use a smaller tape that's easier to manipulate. To transfer your measurements to the surface of the material you're cutting, first, press on the edge of the tape and roll it until the edge makes contact with the material. Then, put the point of your pencil at the measurement and flick it up and to the right, and then to the left. That'll give you a mark that's very visible, yet small enough at the point to maintain accuracy. Also, keep a clear perspective on how accurate your measurements really need to be. For example, if you're cutting drywall, a 1/4-inch gap isn't going to make a big difference. You can always cover it with tape and mud. Not so with wood trim, even though a little caulk goes a long way. And with clear finish woodwork, you'll need to be more precise. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-546-2909. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-546-2909 today.
You've heard her on The Poor Man Show talking about mastering women, which just so happens to be the title of her latest book. Now get ready to listen and talk to Linda Gross, the expert on gender differences and the men's advocate. Write this number down to call in to talk to Linda, 888-909-1050. Every Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock Pacific, it's the Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross, 888-909-1050. Let's talk, where men can be men, on KCAA 1050 AM.
Discover the wonders from the land down under at the Australian Outback San Diego Zoo's latest exhibit. Here you'll encounter wombats, wallabies, kookaburras, cockatoos, and koalas. You'll be at eye level with 7 different marsupials, and you may even encounter koala joeys on their moms' backs. San Diego Zoo's Australian Outback is also home to 25 colorful bird species. Watch these beautiful creatures in the land down under. The new Australian Outback at San Diego Zoo. For more information, go to sandiegozoo.org.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
Thank you for joining us, America. It's a free call. The phone number is 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life, your money. Patricia's with us in Houston, Texas. Hi, Patricia. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So we are going through the baby step, and we're on baby step 2. We have a car that is, we owe $15,900 on it, and we're wondering if we should sell it or keep it in our debt snowball. Right now, we're underwater on it, so it's only worth about $11,000, I think. So we would still have to come up with more money if we sold it, and then an additional maybe, $5,000 to get a little beater or something to drive around in, and we're just not sure, should we just keep it or sell it?
What's your household income?
About just over that, maybe like $120,000.
Mm-hmm. And how much other debt do you have other than the car?
Let's see, we're about $32,000.
Okay. No, I would not sell the car.
Okay.
Unless you just hate the car. But, I mean, even if you hate it, you probably ought to drive it for a little while and get it clean, get this mess cleaned up. Because here's the rule of thumb I use on selling a car once you decide to work your debt snowball. Mm-hmm. Number one is, do all your vehicles add up to more than half your annual income? Pretty safe bet yours don't add up to $60,000, okay? That all of your vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
The only one. This is the only one. The other one is a company car. So
okay, so easily you're under that mark. The second thing is, can you be debt-free, not counting your house, in 2 years or less, or is the car keeping you from doing that? And the answer to both of those is no. Yes, you can be debt-free inside of 2 years. No, the car's not keeping you from doing that. And so that's the whole thing. That's what you do. So I would keep it if I were you and just work your debt snowball with a vengeance, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Brittany's with us in Oahu. Hawaii. Hey, Brittany, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I'm planning on moving out of state in January, but I have about $32,000 in student loans and my car loan. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering whether I should be focusing on paying some of that off prior to the move, or if I should save and wait until after.
How much do you owe on your car?
About $7,700.
Okay. Are you taking the car with you?
I do plan on taking it, yes.
Okay. So you're going to ship it to the States or to the
mm-hmm.
mainland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does that cost?
It's about $1,100.
Okay. Okay. And why are you moving? What are you going to be doing?
Basically, I can't afford to live here, so I can move. I can keep my job in a different state. So.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going to move?
Nevada.
I'm sorry?
Nevada.
Okay. And you're single?
Yes.
Okay. And how old?
I'm 23.
And what do you make?
About 42 right now.
Okay. I would save up and make the move.
Okay.
And then I would work on your debt snowball once you get moved. Yeah, I think you've got that decision made. It's going to lower your expenses overall. It's the next step in your adventure, in your journey. The only thing that's running through my head, and I'm not positive which direction, but I'm kind of questioning whether you just sell that car and get you another one when you get stateside.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that too, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, it just seems. Number one, it seems more convenient, and maybe you buy a little lesser car when you get to the States. You owe $7,700 on it. What's it worth?
About $10,000.
Okay, so you could sell it and buy you a $2,000 or $3,000 car when you got to the States, and you'd be a little bit ahead on your debt, and it'd take you $1,100 less to move. And then once you get out of debt, save up and move up in car pretty quick.
Okay.
I'd probably do that in your case, just because I hate to pay $1,100 to ship a car that's only worth $7,000 or $10,000. I'm sorry, you're paying 10% of the value of the car to ship it. So I think you can get you another car and then move up in value later, or move up in value of car or expensive car later. Brent is with us in Phoenix. Hi, Brent. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, I have a question for you. So we just moved from South Pasadena, California, into the end of 2013. I was 50 years old. I had 3 businesses I was running. I was just kind of burning myself out. Over a period of years, in 2011, I took equity out of my house and bought some homes in Arizona. Sold my home in California, moved to Arizona, and I own 8 homes that are completely paid off.
Cool.
And that's our income. That's what my wife and I live on now. So it's a lot different. And we have 7 children.
And what are they worth?
Anyway, the houses, well, I bought them at about 40 or 50. They're all worth about 120 apiece.
So you've got a net worth of $1 million. Okay.
Yes. But this is my question. So we still have a couple kids at home. A couple of them are married, and a couple are going to college. But we got FAFSA before, and we're not getting FAFSA. I'm making, 60% less than I was making before, and now we're not getting FAFSA. Do you have any thoughts on that?
FAFSA is not a thing you get. FAFSA is an application. You're talking about Pell Grants?
Well, it's grants. It's the FAFSA money for college for our kids.
Yeah, FAFSA is an application you fill out when you get ready to go to college, and based on your income, you then qualify, if you're poor, for Pell Grants from the federal government. But that's the only thing that the federal government will give you. It also sets you up for a bunch of student loans if you're not real careful. Everybody qualifies for those, God help us. We don't want to do that. I don't know what you were getting through FAFSA with the kind of income you had before, unless it was something related to California.
Well, we had a lot of write-offs, and but here they're saying, since you own so much property, you're rich. And
you already did own that property, though.
I didn't own as many. I owned about 3 or 4, and then when we sold our house in California, we bought our.
Well, let me tell you, you are rich. Okay, you're a millionaire. All right, so you are officially rich. And so if you're trying to qualify for poor people money, you shouldn't qualify for that.
That's true.
But if there's some kind of in other words, if there's a need-based scholarship that's based on need, you wouldn't qualify for that, and really you shouldn't. But I don't know what it was you were getting before. If you had half as many properties, even, you shouldn't have qualified for Pell Grants.
Well, I don't know. I didn't finish college.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I don't really know. I just have owned businesses.
Yeah, you've done very well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I listened to a lot of your advice and took it. I mean, it's simple.
So I'm afraid I'm not much help. But here's the distinction, okay? FAFSA is the application that you fill out with the federal government to see if you qualify for need-based, poverty-based, welfare-based help for college, called Pell Grants. Okay. It also tells you it also will line you up, and they'll put you on the mailing list and wear your butt out to take out student loans. Also, FAFSA is then sometimes used for scholarship offers from colleges that could be based on your income. And that may be who's less willing to help you than was willing to help you before, or based on your net worth.
I see.
That could be. But and what kind of colleges are they going to?
They're going to BYU, Idaho. So, and right now they're saying they can get student loans. We can give them student loans all day long.
No, we don't want student loans. But BYU cut the price before for the other kids, right?
Yeah.
And they're not willing to do it now.
Right.
That's what it was. Now we got to the bottom of it. Okay, so it's the college decision based on your thing there. And, if you're LDS, I would just get all up in that and start messing with those folk. Because BYU's the place to go, and they want your kids there. And so it's part of your faith walk out. Yes, I would pursue that hard, but you're not going to get it based on income.
My name is Michael, and this is my wife Dina here, and we've got...
This is KCAA.
California Headline News, generally favorable reaction to the LA Police Commission's findings that one of the 2 officers involved in last year's shooting death of 22-year-old Giselle Ford was not compliant with department policies.
I'm very satisfied. I agree totally with their decision.
That's Ford's mother.
My son would never grab for no gun. He wanted to live. That's
That's all he wanted to do was live.
It'll be up to the district attorney to determine if the non-compliant officer will face charges. Some state employees who deal with high-risk inmates at prisons and state hospitals say not being able to keep their home addresses private has proven problematic, with some former inmates trying to track them down.
Over 70% of CAP's membership are women, and many of whom have been stalked by patients that have been released from state hospitals.
Senate Public Safety Committee approving legislation that extends the level of confidentiality to psychiatric technicians. Geico weather rains in the northern region of the state for much of the day. Jeff Scott, California News.
The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. It's as American as apple pie. However, over the last 7 years or so, Americans who can't use a tax return or pay stub to qualify have been shut out. Until now, Cash Call Mortgage is happy to announce its new 30-year fixed-rate mortgage up to $3 million for good credit borrowers who can't or won't provide their tax returns or pay stubs. Your payment will never change. Until now, these programs have only been available as some kind of adjustable, and you know which way those adjustables will eventually go. So call 844-890-CASH for all of your 30-year fixed-rate mortgage needs, purchase or refinance. You can even pull up to $500,000 in equity out of your house for any reason whatsoever. Remember, that's 844-890-CASH to find out what today's 30-year fixed rate is with no tax returns. You'll be shocked at how low these rates are.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. California Department of Business Oversight. Residential Mortgage Lender Law License 4131083. NMLS 128231.
Are you particular about the vitamins and supplements you take? Have you found that the big chain stores simply don't have what you need? Then you should know about the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. You'll find rock-bottom prices on gourmet, top-quality vitamins and mineral supplements at the Vitamin Center. Get 30% off on all supplements and homeopathic products. All, not just selected merchandise. In addition, you'll find 30% off on all cosmetics, soaps, shampoos, toothpaste, makeup, hair coloring, and lip gloss. And all tea products are discounted 20%. Why go anywhere else? See for yourself at the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills, 5007 Canaan Road in Agora Hills. Or check out the savings and place your order online, VitaminCenterAgoraHills.com. Start saving by getting what you need from the Vitamin Center of Agora Hills. And tell a friend that the Vitamin Center ships nationwide. Call 818-707-0005. That's 818-707-0005. The Vitamin Center of Agora Hills.
It's time for some delicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best delicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all delicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dillylicious sub sandwich, or simply Dillylightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates is a group looking for board members to serve as secretary and treasurer. The group will exist as a 501c3, and its purpose will be to help raise funds for those who need alternative cancer treatments. In order to be an active board member, you must either be a cancer survivor or have been in a close relationship with someone who has or who has had cancer. You must also be able to do the work required for the position you are volunteering for, and you must accept the title as an unpaid position. If you are interested in helping to fund alternative cancer treatments and would like to volunteer as a board member for Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates, please call Rebecca Jansch at 909-552-6718. That's 909-552-6718. That's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're with us. If you haven't heard, you haven't been listening to the show, that we've launched the best, we think, the best online budgeting tool in the world today. It's called Every Dollar. Helps you give every dollar a name. Helps you control every dollar. Your budget gives you power over your money when you give every dollar a name. So it's called Every Dollar, everydollar.com. It's free. Makes budgeting really easy. We launched it a little over 60 days ago. We've got 420,000 people already doing their budget in it. Just a short period of time. So it's a massive, massive success. And, again, it's free. So jump on at everydollar.com and start doing your monthly budget. It only takes you about 10 minutes. You can get a free iPhone app to use to manipulate the budget once you build it in your computer. You always have to put it together and get the thing started. It takes about 10 minutes on your computer. If you have other types of phones, you can use your computer because your computer doesn't care what kind of phone you've got. So until we get the other apps built, and we're building them as we speak, so we'll get there. But it's free. And if you want to connect to your bank and download all of the information from your bank, like when you go to eat a burger, it'll show up burger charge on your debit card on your iPhone, and you can just reach and grab it with your finger and drag that over into restaurants, and it'll drop right there. Yeah, it's very easy when you do that. That's called Every Dollar Plus. Your bank charges us a fee. The company we use charges us a fee to hook to your bank. So we charge you a fee. Ta-da! That's how that works. So Every Dollar is free. If you want to do the bank connectivity, it's like $99 a year or something. So it's not a lot of money, but you're paying more than that for your coffee, I can tell you that. But anyway, this helps you manage and get control of your money. It's very cool. And you can use the free one if you want. Lots of people do. So check it out, and the free app, and it's exploding, you guys. Thank you, by the way, for this massive success. I mean, we spent 3 years and millions of dollars building this thing. We've got it built in such a way that we can take it to 40 million people, and we're continuing to iterate, continuing to add features to it, and we'll continue to do that, I guess, as long as we live, as long as Every Dollar's open, and we keep doing it, because it's going to get better every single month, every single week. We not only are fixing bugs, but we're also adding things to it and have things on the whiteboard for a year from now that this thing's going to be. It's going to be pretty stinking. It's going to be even more incredible than it is. But thank you for the unbelievable out-of-the-gate success. To have 400,000 plus people in the thing in just a couple of months is just wild. Carrie is with us in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay. Well, I'm 41, and I purchased a new car last September, and I only owe $10,000 on my home. I have like $11,000 in my savings account. I do have a 401k and an IRA. I am wanting to surrender the car to focus on paying off my home, building my savings account, and my 401k and my IRA.
Okay, this is not a Hertz rent-a-car, darling. You can't just turn it in.
Well, that's kind of, I'm worried about my credit.
Yeah, it's called a repossession. They're going to sue your butt. You don't just, it's not a Hertz rent-a-car. You can't drop the keys off the counter. That's not how it works. What do you owe on this car?
$24,000.
Good Lord. What do you make a year?
About 41.
Yeah, I bet you do. Okay. And what's the car worth? Have you looked it up?
I took it back to the dealer, and they told me they'd give me $20,000 for it.
Okay, that means it's worth $24,000. Because a dealer buys a car at wholesale to resell it and make a profit. So go to KBB, KellyBlueBook.com, and look up private sale and enter the data on your car. It'll take just a few minutes to do this, and you'll know the actual value of your car were you to try to sell your car privately, like on something like Craigslist.
Okay.
And you need to sell the car yourself for as much as you can sell it for, and it may take you a month or two to do that, but in a month or two, price the thing in a way, and you're going to lose less money that way than if you sell it to the dealer. But if you sell it to the dealer, you're going to have to write a check for $4,000. If you sell it to an individual for $24,000, you're not going to have to write a check.
Okay.
And $4,000 is a lot of money in your world.
Oh, yeah. Now, let's say I do that. After that's done, the money that I would be saving monthly, would you suggest focusing on paying off the house, the saving, building up the savings, the 401k, the IRA? Where would I go at that point?
Okay, that's a very good question. First thing we got to do is get you another car, right?
Well, yeah, I was thinking just to get, something nice, reliable, nothing new.
Yeah.
So that way I can focus that money somewhere else.
Yeah, with no debt, and you got $10,000 in $11,000 in savings, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you talking about? Like a $5,000 car?
Well, yes. The other thing is I drive an hour to work every day. I've parked my new car. I bought a little, beater.
Oh, you already have a beater?
I do.
You going to just drive that after you sell the car for a little while?
For a little while until it gets down or I have to buy something else, then I would get another beater.
All right. Then here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk the baby steps. Baby step 1 is to save $1,000. You've done that. 2, once you sell the car, is to be debt-free. You'll be debt-free not counting your house, and that's baby step 2 after the car's sold. You're driving the beater. You got $11,000 in savings. Then baby step 3 is to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. $11,000 counts as that. That's your emergency fund, okay? Then baby step 4 is to start saving 15% of your income. And 5 is kids' college. You got any kids you got to pay for college?
I don't. I only have one. She's 23. She's married. She's on her own.
Perfect.
I do have credit card debt. I have $2,000.
How much?
$2,000.
How much?
$2,000.
$2,000. Okay. After the car is sold and you've got that settled, write a check out of your savings and pay that off.
Okay.
And cut up the card.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you could get it out right now and cut it up if you want to.
Well, I'm at work. I don't have it. I keep it at home because...
Good. Then you got scissors at home, right? You got some scissors at home? Yeah, take the scissors at home. Have plastic surgery tonight, okay? You can tell all your friends you had plastic surgery while you were at home last night. So, chop that puppy up. Be done with it. Now, any other debt?
No.
Okay. All right, now we got $9,000 in the bank. We're driving a beater. Your car is sold. That's where we're trying to get to. You follow me?
Okay. Yes, I do.
And then we say put 15% of your income into retirement, and the rest goes towards your house. How old are you?
41.
Okay, that's perfect then. Let's just do that. 15% of your income into retirement. Do you have a 401k at work?
I do, and I only have $25,000 in that.
Do they match?
Not dollar for dollar. It's like a quarter on the dollar.
Well, that's 25% before you made any money. That's a nice return.
Right.
I hope your mutual funds do that good. So they do 25% up to what?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay. Well, once we get all of this other stuff done, that's the next thing you need to learn, because I want you to put enough in to get all of that 25% match you can get, up to 15% of your income. Now, so how do you do that? It's 0.15 and $42,000, okay? So 15% of your income is $6,300. If we want to round that down, we could say $6,000. That's $500 a month needs to be going into retirement.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Then above that, everything you can scrape together, throw it at the house, and you're going to have the house paid off in about 3 years. While you're saving 15% for retirement, while you're driving a beater. And if you need to move up a little in car, you can slow down on your retirement savings a little bit, move up in car a little bit, and then kick back in on the retirement savings. But I'd love for you to get that house paid off and then move up in car as a celebration. But pay cash. Never again fall into the new car pit. You have fallen into the pit. You're stuck in the pit. Bless your heart. $24,000. Everything else in her life is so smart. This glaring one thing. Wow. Ouch.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio.
Did you know that your personal information is everywhere? And identity thieves are thinking up new ways to steal it. Without ID theft protection, you could spend hundreds of hours trying to get your life back. For a few dollars a month, Xander ID Theft Solutions can provide you peace of mind. Xander has a 100% recovery rate and offers the most affordable and comprehensive plans, covering all types of ID theft. From financial fraud to medical fraud, Xander has you covered and will do all the cleanup work for you. Visit XanderINS.com or call 1-800-356-4282.
This is KCAA.
Market Wrap with Mo Ansari is your daily source for financial news and analysis. With over 30 years of trading experience, Mo shares his thoughts on the markets, answers your financial questions, and features guest experts from around the world covering a variety of investment topics. Visit MarketWrapWithMo.com for more info about the show and listen to Market Wrap with Mo Ansari. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
If you're like most, your trust in traditional financial advice has taken a big hit in the last few years. So when it comes to your money, investment, and retirement planning, where do you turn now? Who do you listen to? Join us for Smart Money Talk Radio, Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. for the refreshing, straightforward money and investment strategies of Jim and Lorraine Conaway. With over 44 years of combined experience, the Conaways are here to educate you on how to be smart with your money. Securities offered through J.P. Turner & Company, LLC. Member SIPC.
Ever wonder what's wrong with the world today? It seems only sex and violence make any sort of noise in our media-driven lives. A politician cheats on his wife. A young girl gets raped. A millionaire commits suicide. Ever wonder, what's the point of all of this? And where does God fit in? If you're confused, feeling lost, or empty inside, there's a website that can help. Check out fishforgod.com. At fishforgod.com.
Glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brian follows me on Twitter at Dave Ramsey. What is a good rate of return on a regular savings account? Brian, there's no such thing as a good rate of return on a good savings account. Most of them are well under 1%. And if you can find something up close to 1% on a CD or a money market account, you've done really well. in that world. You're not going to make any money on that. That's just a safe place to park money. It's a glorified cookie jar at this stage of the game. Andrew is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
I have a few questions, but realize I can only ask a few right now. But my biggest question is I'm trying to help out my parents with paying off our debt. And my dad is kind of wishy-washy on the whole first baby step, which is saving $1,000 and still having debt. We also have a line of credit that my dad has, and he definitely wants to pay off debt. I mean, he does not like spending, but I mean, I'm trying to get advice on what your opinion is on a line of credit and still saving that $1,000, because he thinks that our line of credit is our emergency fund. So.
Why are you calling me? How old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16, and you're advising them on their finances. Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay. Why is so you introduced this to your parents or what?
Well, my dad definitely knows all about. He knows who Dave Ramsey is, of course. But I started reading Total Money Makeover for kind of myself, because I have myself a very small debt, but I owe my parents some money. But I also want to get my finances in order. But I also know that my family, we've had debt for forever and have never been able to pay it off. So I've suggested some things to my dad. He knows about them. He just doesn't. Honestly, he doesn't believe in them. I don't want to disrespect my father in any way, but that's what it comes down to.
Okay. All right. Well, it's hard for him to hear ideas from you about money. It's always tough to advise your parents. Even when you're 66 and he's 80 someday, you're going to have trouble doing that. Yeah. It's just the way nature is, and so what I would do if I were in your shoes is really try to refer him not to your opinion on anything, but just say, Dad, I'm 16. I don't know. But I did read this book, and, Dave is one of the premier experts on money in the nation, and certainly on getting out of debt. And why don't you read this and tell me what you think about what you see in here? Because when I read it, it makes sense to me. But I'm 16, so I want your opinion, Dad. Would you read it and let's talk it through with me? Teach me what you learn in there, and get him to actually read the book rather than you try to teach him my stuff.
Okay.
It's less of an uphill battle, because that way he can, if he wants to disagree with me, he can, but he's going to have a tendency to push back on you. I mean, if you come in and say the sky's blue and it's bright blue out there, he's going to go double check.
Yeah.
Because that's just how parents do with kids by and large. I mean, later on, you may be in a situation where you advise him and so forth, but most of the time that's not going to happen. So the answer to your question for your that's how I would suggest you try to persuade him. Okay?
Okay. Now, yeah, our whole thing is, our whole entire family's in this together. We just recently created a budget. We're doing good so far with that. But I want to go further than just having a budget. I want to follow your baby steps. So yeah, I'll definitely suggest reading that to him.
Well, it's not up to you. I mean, you could follow my baby steps. It's up to him and your mom to lead that household as the parents. And so, but yeah, I think the way to do that, I mean, you became convinced that this works after having read through the book, and now you're trying to teach them what you read in this book, and you'll be better off letting it do the teaching for you, is what I'm saying. Or we could do this. We could just say, why don't we put you and your parents, why don't y'all all go through Financial Peace University as my guest?
Okay.
And let me do the convincing, in other words.
Okay.
I'll pay for it for your dad and mom to go through, and you can ride with them to the class, and you go through the class with them. And I'll pay for it. And then it explains itself, okay? Now, that's how we get your family on the track that you already know they should be on. Now, let me go back, though, for your purposes, and just answer the question for you, just for your intellect, okay? You know, what is the way? Don't talk to your dad about this. But the answer to his question, were he to call me and ask me, well, I don't want to start a baby step $1,000. I'm just going to use my line of credit as my emergency fund. My answer is, as long as you use a line of credit as your emergency fund, you're always going to be in debt. Because emergencies always come, and a line of credit is debt. You're always going to go into debt every time you have an emergency, and the only thing you can count on is emergencies.
Okay.
They're 100% predictable. It's just not a matter of who. You just don't know what color it is, how big it is, how bad it is, what type of emergency it is. But they're 100% predictable that it's going to rain.
Yes.
And so you need an umbrella, and you don't need a borrowed umbrella. So the answer, you were onto it. You had the good instincts on this, because you're way beyond your years, obviously. But the answer is you don't want to have your the last time you want to go in debt is when there's an emergency. And if the only way you can cover an emergency is with a line of credit, you're going into debt at exactly the wrong time, as if there's ever a good time. But it's exactly the wrong time to go into debt. The last thing you want to do is go in debt in the middle of an emergency. So you don't ever use a line of credit to cover emergencies. It doesn't break the cycle of debt because you're still leaning on this rubber crutch, which is what debt is. Every time I want to do something, I lean over on this thing that's supposed to hold me up and supposed to take me to prosperity, and it doesn't. That's the deal. So, interesting call, Andrew. Thank you for joining us. Hold on. Kelly's going to pick up. We'll get your whole family signed up for Financial Peace University. Call me back or have your parents call me back, one of the two, after you guys go through the class. I want to hear how this turns out. Rather interesting way of getting at this family issue. Bridget is in Las Vegas. Hey, Bridget, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have a question about our home. We're deciding if we want to sell it or keep it. We have a lot of equity in our home, and we want to be able to eventually have a rental property. And so we're just deciding how to go about that. We could either sell our home and use the equity to buy a rental, or sell our home and use the equity to have a small mortgage, like buy another home the same size, but have a smaller mortgage because we have all this equity. We can pay it down and then just save up for a rental property. That's our question.
Okay, so you're not going to stay in this home?
I don't think so. Not with how much equity is there that we could easily turn a profit.
So just because you can, the purpose is to get a house paid for. That's going to be a lot of equity. I want you to be debt-free. 100% debt-free house and everything. That's the goal if you're talking to me. That's what I'm going to get you to do. Okay? Now, given that goal, why would you move? Do you not like the house? It's not big enough? You want to move up in house?
I would say it's maybe a little too big just for the size of the family, but it was a really good deal when we bought it, so it was hard to not buy it.
Okay, I would stay in that house then. I would stay in that house and pay it off. That would be my first goal. As soon as it's paid off, I'd start saving rapidly to buy my first rental with cash. If you want to buy a rental, with cash, what will this house sell for?
Over $310,000.
Okay, if you sold it for $310,000 and you bought yourself a $200,000 house and you bought a $100,000 rental, and you pay cash for both, that's okay. If you want to move down in house in order to pay cash for a rental, that's fine. If you want to go that direction, personally wouldn't do that. Personally, go the other direction, but. If you want to do that, that's okay. But I'm not going to lead you into debt on rentals. I'm not going to tell you to, just because you got equity, you need to bail. That's not true. That's a bad way of looking at it. Thanks for the call.
On board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.